Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the dude manning the counter, Duncan, and today it is Monday, October the 11th, which is the birthday of this character of this movie I'm going to talk about. The Game, starring Michael Douglas, Debra Kerr, Unger, Sean Penn, and it was directed by David Fincher. And so I thought it'd be fitting to talk about it today. Not only is it the birthday of the main character, Nicholas Van Orten, played by Michael Douglas, it is also the birthday of yours truly. Now, the movie itself is about a guy, Michael Douglas, playing Nicholas Van Orten. He's this investment banker, and he makes great money, lives in San Francisco in a nice house, but he does have some underlying issues, and it explores that a little bit and explains it, but not outwardly. But his father committed suicide, and so you see that in flashback on like film. You see a little bit of it, and it explains, kind of makes Nicholas Van Orten who he is. But he's very repressed in a way. Like, he's been married, but he's divorced. He has everything you could possibly want: an awesome car, the big house, the big job, the nice clothes. So it's his 48th birthday, and his ex-wife calls him, and he's just like, okay, thanks for calling, whatever, bye-bye. He's very cold. But he meets his brother, Conrad, played by Sean Penn, and they meet at this nice restaurant, and he's like, I got you a gift, and it's this little voucher, and it's called CRS, Consumer Recreation Services. And he's kind of curious about it, because he's like, what's this gift? And he's like, well, I had to think of something, what do you give a man that has everything? And so he's kind of reluctant, and he calls Consumer Recreational Services, and he meets with them, and they put him through a battery of tests, like for hours, every psychological test, the physical test. I mean, they do the whole workup here. And he still is like, what is this? They're like, it's a game. It's like a vacation that comes to you. You don't go on vacation. The vacation comes to you. And he's just confused by all this. He's not sure he wants to do it. And, he goes back to doing his life, which is actually, in a way, boring, even though he has everything. There's just no challenge to him, and he's kind of an asshole. And Michael Douglas plays him perfectly here. Now, as he moves along, he learns, the CRS calls him, and they're like, you know what? I don't think you'd be a good fit for this thing. So, bye. And he's like, what? Nobody turns down Nicholas Van Orten. So he's just kind of like, whatever. Then, his life starts to take a turn. His television talks to him. The anchor on the news of the business channel he watches talks to him. He finds some stuff around his house. He finds a clown with a camera in it, and he finds a key in its mouth, and he also starts finding little clues, like his life's starting to get a little strange. And he meets this waitress who spills a drink on him on his designer clothes, so he gets pissed, but then he gets a note saying, don't let her leave, even though she gets fired. And this is played by Debra Kerr Unger. She's the waitress. And her name's Christine. And he follows her, and then they get taken away. Like, there's a guy that collapses in front of him, and they have to go in an ambulance, and they go to the hospital, and then all of a sudden everything disperses, and they're just stuck there together. And he's like, what is going on? He can't open his briefcase. Everything he goes through is starting to become unraveled. His incredibly structured life is getting a little crazier, and he doesn't know what to make of this, because he is so used to being in control. And his life starts getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and all his money is not getting him out of it. He doesn't know what to do. And I'm not going to tell any more because I don't want to give it away. But the movie here, I love the tone David Fincher took because it's not a colorful movie at all. It's like, San Francisco's kind of gray, but his suits are gray, and everybody around him, they're not dressed in bright red or bright blue. Everything this movie is just black and white in a way. I mean, I think that was done intentionally in production design. And the music is just little piano keys here and there. Not a lot. I mean, not a big bombastic score. And you don't know what to make of it here. And Michael Douglas was perfectly cast for this because you buy it that he's this rich guy who seemingly has everything going for him and wants to be in control of every aspect of everything. And then when he loses it, he loses it mentally as well. So everything here kind of makes sense. And the ending, when you first see it, it kind of blows you away. And then you're like, it makes sense. It all ties together and it makes sense. And it has this underlying message to it. So it's really well done. And it's, obviously since it takes place on my birthday, I have some attachment to it, but I really like it too. So it's a great suspense thriller with an underlying message, and it has an ending that'll kind of knock your socks off, and it makes sense. I mean, so let me know in the comments what you think of it. Have you seen it? Have you seen any other David Fincher movies that you like? Any of those things. Let me know in the comments. And take care. Till next time.